Hello, beautiful souls. I'm so grateful to be here and to be sharing these messages with you all today. These downloads have been so much fun. They've been coming in at the most random times. Last night, I was making dinner with my partner, and all of a sudden, poor guy was middle of a story, and everything around me just kind of went mute, and I started receiving this awesome download that I'm going to share with you today. But I had to be like, hold on, let me receive this quick. So, just for you all to kind of keep that in mind, it's downloads are coming in fast for everyone, and it's going to happen who knows when. So, just being open your mind, open your heart, and basically give that permission for the highest good of all for you to receive information or downloads whenever it's beneficial for you. So, main download, like I've mentioned a few times, we as a collective, we have shifted into a higher timeline as a collective. What that looks like at an individual base is things basically flip upside down for us, individually and collectively. But of course, it starts with us. So since we are on such a high timeline right now of alignment and of love and of light and of basically just this awakening for a lot of souls on this earth. That's not all rainbows and butterflies. That can kind of feel like shit at times. So I'm not here to sugarcoat anything and say that this is easy and fun. This is real work, and this is why we're all here to help start making this difference and change our physical internal structure in order to change the collective structure. So with that being said, since we're on this beautiful high timeline right now, a lot of you are going to be feeling stuck or feeling kind of stagnant, or and you're aware that there's all these shifts happening and you feel shifts happening, but then you feel kind of stuck or kind of like, now what? So I'm here to let you know, or my guides are, that feeling of being stuck is you're actually not stuck. It's actually another gift that you've received from all these shifts, is because we're on such a higher timeline. That shift as a collective kind of happened for some of us before our internal shift happened. So all that's happening is we're kind of playing catch up, and we're in the game of shifting our internal structure to kind of step into this new higher timeline, to step into alignment with what the universe is asking us to do right now, because it's fully supporting all of us. Like I've said, take that leap of faith. Don't be scared. Really trust yourselves right now. Because everything around us is supporting us on a collective level. But on an individual level, that can kind of manifest into our reality as feeling stagnant or stuck. So you're not stuck. All that's happening is you're just really not sure what to do next, because things have flipped backwards so fast that your body and your subconscious mind is like, okay, I feel that everything's shifted inside of me. My 3D human body wasn't prepared for that as quickly as that happened. So instead of shifting easily with it and staying in the flow of it, which is sometimes hard to do, I'm guilty of this. That's why I'm showing you by example, is instead of being able to easily shift with the collective shift that happened, it's our egos trying to kind of hold us back and be like, whoa, I'm not ready for this. Like, it's not safe. Why did everything inside of me change all at once? I'm just going to stay here where I know it's safe. I'm just going to stay where I'm at right now so that I don't have to change with this collective shift that happened. So that's why in my previous videos I've said, take that leap. You're going to want to feel like you don't want to. All that is again, another perspective here is you're just kind of feeling stuck, and that's okay. That's natural. But to get past that feeling of being stuck, take that leap of faith with whatever passion or whatever direction you're currently being guided towards, and watch how supported you are. So that's a huge thing right now, because we're on this new timeline, and what a lot of us are going to be feeling, or I guess this is just a really cool way my guides put it this morning, is we're not constantly trying to change ourselves. We're trying to understand ourselves. When we are changing, but all we're doing is becoming who we're meant to be. So from their perspective, from my perspective, how can I put this? So again, I just have the notes, the little mantra they gave me that gave me chills all throughout my body is, you're not trying to change yourself, you're trying to understand yourself. So we came here knowing who we were. We came here fully full of this love and of our purpose and of our mission. And through time, with all of this programming, we just kind of shifted more and more away, possibly, from who we were supposed to be. And so all we're doing is shifting back into that. And we're not learning, we're remembering. I tell all my clients and students that all the time, and it's so true, is you've done this for many, many lifetimes. Whatever your divine purpose is, whatever your passion is, you've probably been working on it for many lifetimes. And so all you're doing right now as you call back your power is you're just remembering how to do this, how to walk through this ascension journey. You're not learning, you're remembering. And you're not trying to change yourself, you're trying to understand yourself. And as you understand yourself and what feels good for you, yes, that'll look like a change. Yes, technically you are changing yourself, but you're really not. You're really just becoming more of yourself and understanding what feels good and what doesn't. And so looking at it from that perspective is change is so embraced. Really embrace any changes you feel, but I like saying the word understand more. So it's not as scary. It's not as like ominous of, oh my God, everything's going to change in my life. It's like, no, you're just going to kind of get back to who you came here as. You've already been there. You're just understanding what that feels like more. And so another thing that they were talking about was being very aware of your surroundings in regards to how your body reacts with your surroundings. I've probably mentioned this multiple times, but really, they asked me to share this as well, for all of you to ask yourself this question is, do you feel like you're in control, physical control, as you go throughout your day? Do you feel like you're present with your body? Or do you feel like your attention is elsewhere or outside of your body? So kind of asking yourself or watching, where is your attention when you're actually doing activities every now moment? Just by asking yourself that and being curious and watching what you're thinking about as you're doing activities will keep you present in itself. So that's just a very easy tip of how to stay present is watch your thoughts. What are you thinking about all the time? And the more that you watch your thoughts, you'll watch the less thoughts come in. Because most times thoughts aren't even ours, or emotions or things that run through our system is just something that our light body kind of grabs onto from the collective. And so that's why when you always hear individuals like myself say, if a thought comes in, just let it flow through you, because most of the time it's not yours. Or if you catch it in, it's just allow it to pass through you. Don't judge it and try to push it back out, because it's flowing that way regardless of whether you like it or not. So just allow it to come through you, but don't attach to it. Don't emotionally attach to your thoughts. But another message they were saying is, how aware are you of your body? And so let me see, I have this in my notes. So do you feel in control when you're physically walking, or where's your attention placed? They asked me that. So it is within each step that we can choose to focus on the light that's within us, on our light body. So remember, we're not our bodies. Our bodies are just these avatars, just this physical vessel that we dropped down into when we came onto this earth. And so we're actually inside of our bodies. That's the true us. And so when we're in our bodies and we're using our bodies to walk around or do activities each and every now moment, we have the choice whether we want to focus on that light inside of us that is guiding us, or to not, and to let our attention kind of spread out, or spread yourself too thin and have just attention or thoughts or thinking about the past or present or future, or thinking about the past or future and not the present moment. So I'm just going to focus on the higher aspect here. What's happening right now is we're very supported in becoming very present with our bodies and present with our thoughts and present with where our thoughts are going to, because what's happening is we are being guided by our higher self and our guides 24/7, like 24/7, whether we know it or not, whether we like it or not. So what co-creation is, and what working in alignment with your divine purpose is being aware that you're getting these messages 24/7 from your guides, and then how you're going to use their messages to go throughout your day. And so how you'll know that you're following in alignment with what messages they're bringing you is when you're doing an activity. Does it feel good? It's so simple. Or does it resonate in your body? Is like, ooh, that doesn't feel good. And remember in my last video I mentioned emotions are a tool that our bodies use to tell us if it's in alignment with us or not. So if it feels good, if it's a feel-good emotion when you're doing something or thinking about something, then it's in alignment. If it's not, if you feel kind of stressed as you're doing something, or like you're spreading yourself too thin, or you're even on a walk and your mind is somewhere else, so you feel kind of not not fully full or not fully present, then that means you're not in alignment, and that's okay. It's all it is bringing your attention back to your body, bringing your attention back to the present moment, and feeling if what you're doing while you're being present feels good. And if it is, then that means you're listening to their guidance. So it's not always words or like these messages that I get. They come to you with just direct knowings. You just know something, you feel something, you see something, you hear something, you taste something. Like there's every single sense can be used from your guides, but they're really asking that we start getting super present and feeling the messages that they're giving us and how we're in alignment with the messages they're giving us. So sorry, I know that was kind of all over. I hope that made sense. But another thing to keep in mind is, since we are on this higher timeline, everyone as a collective is on this higher timeline right now. Some are more aware of it than others. Like if you're watching this video, you're obviously very aware of what's happening on in this world as a collective right now and how we've shifted so much. But those who aren't aware of that are going to feel so confused, very lost, very stuck, and they're not going to have that higher perspective of being able to embrace these changes and being able to not judge themselves for all of these emotions that are suddenly coming up. So that's another reminder to really, really, really focus on holding compassion for everyone right now, especially the ones who are acting out most. They need the most compassion because it's scary and this is huge, and we're not ascending on our own. We're going as a collective. So if one of us is hurting, we're all hurting. So please begin to keep that in mind. My guides ask me that every day. Is right now, internal shifts are happening so fast, and for some of us, it's beneficial that we're aware of it and we're embracing that, and we're excited to work with that. But for some, that is absolutely terrifying, and when their world shifts upside down and they don't know what to do. So hold compassion, hold that and spread that love, of course, because, and I'm not saying to tell them what to do, just hold space for them, just love them. Ask your guides to send them love if it's someone you just are passing on the street or see at the grocery store. Or if it's your family and friends, and if they're bringing up trigger points in you, this is a perfect time for you to just work with what you've been learning and work how to respond rather than react. No knee-jerk reactions are completely old world. I refuse to let knee-jerk reactions be in my timelines right now. And if I do happen to have a knee-jerk reaction, I completely shift to myself. I shift on the inside and I say, why did that pop up? And most of the times it's not because of my energy. It's because of some energy that I pulled in from someone else, or it's usually because of the person I'm speaking with has an energy that is so triggering for them that when you're an empath, it's very easy to hold on to that. So if you're finding yourself also being triggered by those who aren't in touch with this spiritual journey, or whatever you want to call it, hold space for yourself as well. So holding compassion was the main message there, is hold compassion for, I know you should always do that, but especially right now because things are happening so fast, is a lot of people, way more than usual, are going to be feeling lost and feeling like things are physically burning inside of us and flipping upside down so that our worlds get back to who we're supposed to be. That's basically what's happening. Some people are aware of how to work with that process and some aren't. It's a natural process. It's supposed to happen. But people who aren't trying to go with the natural flow of things are going to be hurting right now. And all we can do to be able to move as a collective and shift as one, which we're supposed to do, is to love them through that, support them, and just trust. Use all of your trust right now that they're going to find their truth. Some people just have to kind of hit that rock bottom in order to wake up, in order to shift their life. And that's not your job. It's not your job to wake up other people. It's your job to support them and love them as they're figuring that out for themselves. And a lot of people who have never even considered waking up are waking up right now, and they don't know that that's what's happening. They feel like they're just losing their minds. So all we can do is love them, even if it's from a distance. That is so valid. All right. So another main message that was super awesome from my guides was facing your challenges. This has actually come up in my past 4 sessions with clients. So I thought that was amazing. I thought that was just a synchronicity thing. And then when my guides put that in my download this morning. I was like, okay, there's something here. Let's get deeper. So facing our challenges right now, the main keywords that they used with this was opportunity, and courage. So challenges right now are so important, and challenges right now are such a gift. I know that sounds crazy, but the whole world's flipping upside down. I love challenges. Even if it doesn't feel good, I love them, because no matter how small or how big a challenge is, they're valid and they're super important right now. So the main thing that's important with challenges is how we deal with these challenges. So the challenges are coming whether we like it or not, whether we know it or not. What's important is how we deal with them, because how we deal with them is a direct indicator, especially right now because of how fast everything is moving and how supported we are with every thought and emotion that we have. So how we deal with any challenges that are placed in front of us is a direct indicator whether or not we're going to bring more obstacles to us because we didn't handle it in our highest good, or it's going to clear the way for more opportunities to present themselves, because opportunities are always coming our way as well. Everything's an opportunity. That's what the main message I'm going to get to here is. But when you're in a lower timeline, or you're working with like denser emotions of stress and anxiety when challenges are presented, all that's going to do is attract more things that aren't in alignment with this new higher timeline we're on. I hope that made sense. So I'll try to get more into that. So, okay, so the main message is we want to clear the path for more opportunities to come. So handle our challenges according to the way this new world that we're in, how we should be handling challenges with peace and love and just gratitude for everything in front of us. So the really cool thing that they got deeper with me on was challenges are not only external. The main challenges we're going to be faced with right now are on an internal level, which will then manifest and help our challenges on the external. But the main focus right now is our internal challenges. And so we're really being asked to start overcoming our attitudes that have basically become the norm for us, or have become a pattern for us, or like a habit. Any way that we usually react to challenges, start noticing how you react. Just notice how you react to any challenge or any situation in front of you. And if you usually react in the same way and it doesn't feel that good, then that's what we're being asked to internally shift inside of us right now. And then what was amazing was Archangel Michael stepped in full force this morning when I was channeling this message. Archangel Michael stepped in and asked that I shared with all of you that you call upon him now when you're facing any challenges, because he's really here for every single one of us to bring strength and courage. And he basically cuts all the bullshit. He has this beautiful sword, Archangel Michael's sword. If you've seen it, I know you know what I'm talking about. It cuts anything and everything in its way, and he knows exactly what does not serve you, and so he'll cut that for you. And what's awesome with this new timeline we're on is we don't have to understand it. We're on this divine feminine timeline. That means for males and females, the age of Aquarius, the Great Awakening, whatever you want to call it. It's working with our creativity and our intuition and our just love, so that it's bypassing all logic, which is usually male-brained, male-oriented. So anyways, when Archangel Michael comes in, he's just basically going to really help you have strength and courage to face these challenges. Because right now life is going to constantly bring us challenges, but instead what we're shifting into is seeing these challenges not as insurmountable, but as opportunities to grow and to expand. So as we cut off those attitudes or reactions we usually have to these situations, that'll begin to shift us more and more, as well as with Archangel Michael's help, into responding to challenges as just opportunities, just completely seeing them from the perspective of an opportunity. And I know I kind of mentioned this in my last video, so the fact that they got deeper on it means that it's very important and valid for us all to be hearing right now. So he's asking, and it's really going to help you all to really just right now start walking with confidence and hold the intention that you're going to transmute every challenge into an opportunity. So walking with confidence with Archangel Michael and transmuting every challenge into an opportunity. and just looking at it from that perspective. Whether you like it or not, you can have all your feelings about this process of ascension or of expanding and awakening. You're supposed to have all of your feelings about it because you're just going to prove more and more to yourself what feels good for you. So don't judge yourself if you're like, this sucks. Like, yeah, I agree. This is hard, but we signed up for it and it's gonna get better. I promise you. It already is. Because it's all an opportunity right now for the collective to be waking up. We've spent every single lifetime here preparing for this lifetime. The amount of times I've heard that is jaw-dropping. It's so exciting, but also kind of overwhelming when you start realizing how important this golden age that we're in right now is. So you can either choose to be scared of that or choose to work with that because it's happening. So hopefully we're all working with that. I know if you're watching this, you are, but again, hold space for those who are kind of not as aware of this as we are. Another beautiful message after the Face Your Challenges was hope. So Archangel Hope actually stepped in, this beautiful angelic being. So she's an actual physical being, and she's asking that we begin to invoke or call her in every single day, really start tapping into our hope. So it's really hard right now why she's stepping in, because as a collective, it's really hard for us basically to not be feeling hopeless. Even myself, even all of us who are shifting and expanding in such exciting new ways, as a collective, the main collective energy is feeling of hopelessness. We're watching so much happen out there in this world right now. All of this fear, this virus, just, oh God. Anyways, there's so much going on, and all we can do, all that most of us can do is watch it. And the hardest thing right now is realize that we can't really do anything about it. And that gives us, whether you're aware of it or not, what that feeling is kind of a little feeling of apathy or of hopelessness, which is completely valid. So when we've been observing and we haven't been really doing anything about it. So to make hope come back into our lives, which is very beneficial right now to start focusing on, is we need to start bringing hope back in on a collective level. In order to do that, we have to start with ourselves, always. So how do we bring hope back on an individual level? So what we're doing is we're shifting ourselves on an individual level from a base of hope. Okay, let me restart that. So what we can do to bring hope in right now on an individual level is really find and dive deep into something that you are driven to in order to make a difference. This can mean make a difference in someone else's life, but also in your life. What can you do in your life that will make a dramatic difference for the made from love? So the base should come from this activity of making a difference should come from a base of love, of course, because as you create this situation, or as you partake in a situation that makes a difference in someone else's life or in your life, that immediately what you get from that, what comes back to you from that exchange, thank you, that's that word, is hope. So your exchange of love and of making a difference, you get hope in return. And the more and more that you do that, the more and more that hope will continue to expand. So what they asked this morning is they're like, do one thing that makes a difference to bring back hope. And really what will help that is really seek and dive deep into your passion, into a passion that you have. Just one thing. You can just start with one thing. They always say start small, so it's not too overwhelming. This can be small, big, whatever's comfortable for you. But dive deep into finding your passion and then dedicate time to actually write down and get clear on what you can do to create this passion, or make a difference in that area of your passion. So that's going to bring back a ton of hope. Remember, that's the exchange of love, and making a difference is hope, as well as surrounding yourself with others who are very dedicated to making a difference as well. Because making a difference, again, you get hope in exchange. And so just by surrounding yourself with individuals who also have that passion for finding their passion or for making a difference, you're going to have no choice but to be surrounded by hope. So what's happening there, which is also cool, which I always talk about, is you're not even focusing on all this stuff going on out in the world, all this darkness or whatever you want to call it. You're choosing to be like, okay, I'm going to look away from it. And I choose with my free will choice to bring back hope into my life. I realize that that's this feeling I've been feeling. If you couldn't, that's what my guide said too, is if a lot of us have been feeling just this emotion that we couldn't really put our fingers on. And they narrowed it down. They're like, what that feeling is hopelessness. Whether you know it or not, whether you like that or not, take that with a grain of salt. But if that resonates with you, if you're kind of like, that's what I've been feeling, then it's time to bring back some hope in your life. And how you can do that is begin to find your passion, dedicate time to that passion, surround yourself with those who are also passionate about making a difference. And that'll really start to bring back a purpose of belonging, a purpose of, or bring back just a sense of purpose in general, a purpose of belonging, thus a purpose of hope. Which on a collective level will begin to shift so fast because hope is contagious. They put that, I have that in my little notes. I was like, I'm going to put that on my mirror. They were like, hope is contagious, love is contagious, but especially hope right now. People who are, and then you're going to be able to, people are going to be able to see you making a difference and being so full of passion so that they'll tap into that feeling of hope, even if they aren't aware that that's what they're feeling. Because hope is kind of a emotion that is hard to identify with. You don't really realize that you're either feeling hopeless or that you're full of hope. So when she stepped in, I was like, I honestly haven't even thought about the word hope in a long time. The more I say it, the weirder it sounds. Anyways, yeah, just really bring back that hope into your life right now. Because when you find hope, what my guides asked me to share with all of you and Archangel Hope is, when you find hope, please share it with others. Show others how finding a purpose or direction in their life can bring back hope as well. Share that if they're kind of overwhelmed with emotions, this is something that's actually beneficial for you to share. I know sometimes I say, like, sometimes you just hold space, like send them love, don't react, don't shove anything down anyone's throat. But this was actually something they mentioned that you could actually physically share and advise people. And because they'll realize like, oh, that's what I've been feeling. I've been feeling hopeless. And then you're going to be like, yeah, you just got to find you just got to find something you're passionate about. It could be anything, it doesn't have, but something that makes a difference in your life or in someone else's life. It doesn't matter, but ideally both would be awesome. But really just finding your passion, dedicating time to that. And when you find that hope again, when you start tapping into that hope, sharing that with others is going to be huge, because that'll show them that they can start bringing back hope into their lives just as much as you have. Because again, we're going as a collective. We're not doing this alone. We need to start sharing with each other, start sharing all this knowledge, start sharing all this hope and this love. And then they just, yeah, so the main messages were release, release, release. They always say that. Release what does no longer serve you. Be very aware of what your body's telling you feels good versus not. Do not search on the outside of you right now. Be aware that we are facing our challenges, whether we like that or not. So go back to that, all of that face your challenge information I gave, and then hope was a huge one. So I know that was a lot. I could speak forever, but I love you all so much. I hope this helps some of you out there. Let me know and reach out with any questions or comments. And I'm feeling your love. I'm feeling your support all the time. I'm so grateful. And hopefully these messages will keep coming like they have been. I'm having so much fun with them. Yeah, and then I will just touch base with you all soon. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye.